In this video, I'm going to share with you the 6 biggest mindset mistakes that most life and business coaches make when it comes to creating a successful business. So the reality is that most coaches don't build a profitable and sustainable business. And the ones that do, a lot of them are just selling services to the industry. So they're basically vendors to the industry. Listen, I know a lot of coaches who never made money as a coach until they started teaching coaches how to make money as a coach. So that's a rant for a whole nother video. And if you don't know me, my name is Sean Smith. I am the founder of Elite Coaching University, where we teach you the skills to be a better coach and the strategies to build a bigger business. I do videos every week on this channel about the coaching industry, so make sure you like and click, hit the little bell icon so that you get notifications every time we put out a new video. So first of all, mindset is pretty much everything when it comes to success in any area of life, not just business in general or coaching business specifically. And it's very difficult to talk about a complex issue like this when we start talking about this thing called the brain and all the millions and millions of variables that each of us have individually. So I'm going to do my best to keep this short, but just understand that every single one of these mistakes could probably be, I don't know, a 4, 5, 6 hour video by itself. So mindset mistake number 1 is that most people haven't pre-decided to succeed. If you're in this can I succeed or can I win mode, your brain is still full of doubt. But when you've pre-decided that you will succeed, your brain will actually start to look for ways to succeed rather than looking for ways that you might not succeed. Now, don't mistake the simplicity of this one for how powerful it is. I'm not saying it's just a flip of the switch, but when you've pre-decided to succeed, the obstacles that you come up against are not going to stop you. Most people, though, experience an obstacle, some kind of a failure, and it crushes them. And then it takes a long time for them to actually get back up, re-motivate themselves to get back in motion. And the assertion that I'll make is that your speed of recovery is directly related to your pre-decision to succeed. So if it takes you a long time to re-motivate yourself and get back on the horse, you probably haven't pre-decided to succeed. You're probably still in the mode of, can I make this happen or not? Mindset mistake number 2 is the commitment to safety and comfort. Listen, if you're building a business, there is always going to be inherent risk that you need to take. You're going to have to invest time, energy, and money, and then you're not in control over the results that you're going to get. And since you'll never know exactly what the future is going to produce, it's always going to be uncomfortable. But growing requires discomfort. There's no such thing as comfortable growth. The bottom line is you're either going to be more committed to avoiding rejection or more committed to avoiding regret. So my advice to you is this: understand that this is going to be uncomfortable, but do it anyway. And if you find yourself getting all anxious and jittery, just remember this: do it scared, do it unprepared, and then do it again. That's the recipe. Mindset mistake number 3 is short-term focus. We live in a world where most people are searching for the quick fix, those microwave results, but those are never sustainable. You can't shortcut the foundational work that needs to be put in. So if you're committed to this being a long-term journey, then I want you to think of your earlier phases as more like an internship. This is where you're going to learn the principles that you need to learn about business, about yourself, about relationships, about money, about success, about all these things that you have to learn to be in business. You're going to learn those things so that you can build a solid foundation for your business in the future. In other words, it's not about getting quick wins right out of the gate, making a bunch of money, because you're probably going to jump over foundational principles if you're chasing that short-term financial success. And this kind of thinking just puts too much pressure on us. It puts us in this do or die kind of mentality, and that usually produces desperation. And when you are coming from a place of desperation, you will likely attract other people who are also coming from a place of desperation. And you put 2 people coming from desperation together, it's usually not a recipe for success or happiness. Mindset mistake number 4 is searching for the right thing. As humans, we are afraid of being wrong. We don't want to be punished. We don't want to be embarrassed. And so we always try to demand of ourselves that we do the right thing. But we have to remember that that's literally impossible to know what the right thing is. If you have 2 or more options, demanding that you know what the right one is would mean that you commit fully to both of them, follow them all the way to the end of the road, and then come back to the present moment, decide which one worked out better, and then assess this is the right one. Well, what happens if you have 10 options to choose? You're making your brain go crazy when you demand that you know what the right choice is to make. And what that does is it puts us more into an intellectual mode, and it creates a state that I call knowledge on ice. That's when you're not really in motion because you're thinking about what the right thing is to do so you don't mess up. But we all know the people with the most amount of success are usually the people with the most amount of failure. Now, it's not because they actually failed a bunch of times, it's because they took committed and massive action that produces both success and failure. So let the entire idea of being right completely go. It's ridiculous. Instead of demanding that you're right, I want you to adopt curiosity. So when you're asking yourself, is it right to do a blog, or is it right to do Facebook ads, or is it right to sell your program for $497? The best way to approach that with curiosity is, let's see. I guarantee that will free you up to commit to more action, which is the only way you can produce results. Mental mistake number 5 is comparing sideways. And what I mean by that is when you're comparing yourself to the left and right to other coaches or other trainers or teachers in the industry. And most of the time, these people have been doing it for a long, long time, much longer than you. And even if you did get to the point where you matched up with them left and right, there would be a new set of people that you could compare yourself to. So you're just in this perpetual dance of, I'm not as good as they are. And that's not a happy dance. That's more of like a dance of depression and sadness. So it's not about how do you compare to the people on your left and right. It's about how do you compare to the person right in front of you. And as long as you're a half a step ahead of the person seeking your wisdom, then you can serve them. Now, if you want a deep dive training on how to identify and start attracting your ideal client, who I call your seeker, you can click the link up there, or I'll put it in the description below as well. And finally, mindset mistake number 6 is extrinsic motivation. Society tells us that we're supposed to have the house and the picket fence and the 2.5 kids and all the money in the bank, and we're supposed to look a certain way and weigh a certain amount, but all of that is coming from external programming. Once upon a time, we didn't even care about that stuff. So if we want to be driven as a human being, we have to tap into our intrinsic motivation. What really truly drives us to act? What do we really want while we have this one shot on this planet? And for most of us, that's going to be some form of contribution. And that desire is going to outweigh all the obstacles and challenges that are going to come your way when it comes to building a business if you really deeply tap into it. Now, of course, I'm not saying to not pay attention to the metrics of your business. Part of being in business is making money. We got to make sure there's cash flow and all of that, but don't be fueled by it. So when you shift your mindset in these 6 areas, it's going to make it easier for you to take action. And from the action, you're going to get outcomes. The outcomes will give you feedback. And depending on the feedback, if it's giving you what you want or not, you'll be able to adjust accordingly. Continue to follow that recipe, and you will be able to build a successful, sustainable, impact-driven coaching business. Let me know what you think. Comment below with any thoughts you have or questions you have about this whole conversation. And we do have a lot of resources for coaches wanting to build coaching businesses. There's a Facebook group called The Truth About Coaching I'll link to in the description. There's a neurotransformational certification program I will also link to in the description if you're interested. That program is really about increasing your confidence, certainty, and conviction as a coach so that you're more intrinsically motivated, as I talked about in this video, to build your business and help more people. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it, subscribing if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Feel free to share it with your tribe if you know people that would benefit from the conversation. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.